Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. If you're new to our channel, welcome. Here at Mad About Skin, we're passionate about helping you to get the most out of your skincare. So if you haven't already, now's a fantastic time to click that link below, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and you won't miss out on any of our amazing future content. Now, in today's video, we're going to be doing a look at the Cetaphil cleansers. You guys went mad for a similar video I did on CeraVe, which I will link up there, but one of the common questions on the back of that video was, could I do the same thing for Cetaphil? And kind of what are the differences between CeraVe and Cetaphil, and is one better than the other? We're going to get into all of that in this video. I have tried 3 of the 5 cleansers by Cetaphil. I also have my opinions on the other 2, which I'll be sharing as we go along. I'm going to go through them product by product and work out which ones are good, which ones are bad, and also which are appropriate for which skin type. So if you do want to include one of these cleansers, you know which is the right one to pick. There is a lot to get through here, so we're going to go straight into this. A little bit overview of the brand. Very similar in terms of their ethos to CeraVe. I personally think CeraVe is the stronger of the 2 brands. You can read me to filth in the comments if you disagree with that. For a number of reasons, I think their products are slightly better, their ingredients are better formulations, and that'll come out as we go through these cleansers. Obviously, check out that video I did on CeraVe so you can compare and contrast if you want to form your own opinions on that. Now, this brand isn't cruelty free, so I do always say on this channel I like to call that out where I can, so that if you're looking to make an informed buying decision, that's something you might want to take into account. They're also not 100% fragrance free, so a lot of people love the CeraVe line because their lack of fragrance in a lot of their products. Fragrance does appear, artificial and synthetic fragrances appear far more in the Cetaphil line, and I'm going to be calling that out as we go along because I know there are some subscribers that really don't like fragrance in their skincare and look to avoid it, either because they have sensitive skin or they just don't particularly want to risk sensitivity down the line by including fragrance in their skincare. There are those that don't mind, and so I'll be calling that out as we go along. The price point of these products varies wildly depending on where you live. In the US, I'd say they're pretty much drugstore price. They're a reasonably affordable drugstore skincare line. Cetaphil here in the UK is ridiculously expensive when compared to the price you pay in the US. You can get it at Tesco. That's probably the easiest place to get hold of it here in the UK, but the pricing is what I call quite mid-market pricing. You're looking at about £15 for a cleanser, which I think is reasonably expensive for a cleanser. But we'll get onto that as we go along. I'm not going to be giving the individual prices for each of these products just because the price varies wildly from where shop to shop, territory to territory, and so I don't think it'd be really giving a fair comparison. But they are all in the sort of $10 to $25 bracket. In the UK, the £10 to £25 bracket. That gives you a rough guide, but I would recommend you do your own research and have a look online if you're looking to buy any of these products at the price beforehand. So let's get into it and start with what was their original cleanser. This was the first cleanser they brought out. I think it's probably their best-selling cleanser. It's certainly the one that's most talked about, the one, if you look on YouTube, has the most reviews about it, and is the one that jumps out when you go into any supermarket here in the UK. It's the easiest one to find and buy, and that is their Gentle Skin Cleanser. So this, I think, was, like I say, the original cleanser and the one which most people identify with the Cetaphil brand. It claims it comes in 3 different sizes, which I think is great because the sizes are really well priced as well. So the bigger you go, the better value you get. So if you like this product, there's a big size out there that you can buy and save a few coin. You can use it with or without water. I think this is what I really do like about this product, is you've got the option to either use it as a dry cleanser or add water and use it as a water cleanser. That gives you that little bit of flexibility, because you could almost use it as the balm element, dry, the first stage in your double cleanse, or you could use it as the second stage in your double cleanse with water to wash off the balm that you've already used. So it gives you that flexibility, which I quite like, and I think that's reasonably innovative in a product. There are other ones out there that you can either use wet or dry, but they're not that common, so I do quite like that in this product. In terms of how much makeup it will remove, I've used this product, and I don't wear heavy makeup day to day, but I have tested it on a few other people and asked for their opinions, and the consensus seems to be it will remove light makeup, but it won't remove every trace of makeup. So you need to bear that in mind if you're using, if you go for a heavy drag look every single day, this probably isn't going to be the cleanser to get it off in one go. But if you're just using a bit of light, maybe a little bit of light concealer or foundation, SPF under there, it will get rid of all of that, break it down and wash it off. So think about how much cleansing you need before you buy this product, because I'd say it's mid coverage most makeup is fine. Any more than that, I think it will struggle to get it off in one go. It's soap free, it's colorant free, it's fragrance free. So these are really good things if you're looking for a cleanser that's not going to dry or strip the skin. It's only got 7 ingredients. This for me is fantastic. Cleansers should be simple. When I look at some cleansers and they've got 50 different ingredients, I think why? You can get a really good cleanser with very few ingredients. I think this is a really good example of that. So 7 ingredients means the fewer the ingredients that are, the less chance of you having a reaction to them. Now, obviously, you just need 1 ingredient to have a reaction to it, so obviously still patch test and be mindful of the ingredients, but I think 7 ingredients is quite a nice number in a cleanser, so that's a big tick from me. If I was going to pick one fault with this, and it's kind of a big fault, and this might be a deal breaker for some people, is it does have sodium lauryl sulfate in, so SLS. This is quite drying to the skin and can be quite irritating and stripping to certain skin types. You need to bear that in mind. My skin actually is fine. I'm quite oily, so this works quite well for my skin type, and I don't find the SLS really dries my skin out too much, so it's fine. But for anyone that has dry or sensitive skin, I think this will be a no-no just because of the inclusion of that SLS, which I think is a shame. Overall, I would rate this particular cleanser an 8 out of 10. It would probably get a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for that SLS and the fact that they do test on animals as a company. I would give it 10 out of 10. That SLS does mean it's not going to be applicable for people with sensitive skin or dry skin, but for anyone with combination skin, normal skin or oily skin, I think this is a fantastic, fantastic cleanser. Just bear in mind that it's not going to get off heavy makeup. If that's you, you might want to look for another cleanser or incorporate it as part of a double cleanse, but for everyone else, this is a really, really good option, and I think a really strong start from a, well, quite a famous brand, and this is a real standout, fantastic product. Now, we're moving seamlessly on to their next, and what I'd say, I'm trying to go in order of what I think is the most popular or the most talked about of their cleansers, so there's some sort of order to this, and that would be the oily skin cleanser. Now, this was the first I ever tried from their brand. I'm oily, I'm greasy, I'm acneic, I'm breakout prone, bit of a disaster zone skin wise, and so this was something I reached for and thought, wow, oily skin cleanser, that's right up my alley, and the sort of thing that I would definitely gravitate to. Interestingly enough, this does have fragrance in. So right off the bat, where the first one was fragrance free, this one has fragrance in. And this is something I will call out with this brand. Cetaphil's a bit of a mess when it comes to their fragrance. Some has fragrance in, some doesn't have fragrance in. I'm not sure why, because to me, I think it's a really strong selling point that you can say as your brand you are fragrance free, or just ignore it and put fragrance in everything. I don't understand why you would have it in some, and there's no real logic to which ones. So the ones that they're aiming at, and we'll come on to this a bit later, the ones they're aiming at sensitive skin has fragrance in, but the one at oily skin also has fragrance in. It's a bit of a mess. This one is fragrance, so you're going to want to bear that in mind, because oily skinned people like myself can also be sensitive, and people do like to avoid fragrance if they're particularly sensitive skinned, so bear that in mind when you're looking to purchase this product. It comes in 2 sizes. The previous one came in 3, so you've got a little bit less choice, but actually you can buy a big bottle of it. If you love it, you can buy a big bottle and you do get a good saving on that, so I do like that in terms of their pricing. It's non-comedogenic, which means it's not going to clog your pores. I expected that. It's suitable for oily skin. You expect that as a minimum, that it's not, and it says it's going to take off the surface oils of your skin. I like this because if I'm feeling particularly oily and greasy, I do just want to get rid of that top layer of oils. I don't want to strip my skin so it feels bare, raw and dry, but I do just want to get rid of that top layer of oils, and this is a fantastic way of doing it, and it certainly delivered that. Again, when it comes to makeup, I'd say it removes a moderate amount of makeup, but if you're a heavy makeup wearer, and a lot of people with oily and acneic skin do, to disguise obviously some of the discoloration and the acne that they might have, I think this is going to struggle to fight through that and actually take off a heavy face of makeup. So you might want to use it as the second step in a double cleanse if that's for you. If you just want to have a standalone cleanse, a single cleanse, I think you're going to struggle to get the results you want from this. It only will remove that light makeup. Certainly removes all those surface oils without drying, and it is lightly foaming. It's not super foaming. It has, again, that sodium lauryl sulfate in, SLS in there, which gives a foaming action. I like a foaming cleanser. I think if you have oily skin, foaming cleansers are really good because they do just remove a little bit more of that oil, and they can be a little bit drying, but for someone's skin type like me, that's actually not a bad thing. This says it's suitable for people with oily skin, and that is the only people I would recommend this for, because of the sodium lauryl sulfate and some of the harsher ingredients in here. Unless you have oily, acneic and breakout prone skin, I would definitely give this one a miss, but for people with oily skin, this is a really good option. If you have sensitive skin and oily skin, which do you know, I pray for your skin if that's you, because I've been there. I've had sensitive times and my skin's been oily and it's really difficult to find products that match. This isn't going to be the product for you. The fragrance and the SLS are just going to be a nightmare with any sensitivity. It's going to flare up your sensitivity and strip your skin at the same time. It's just a no. So this product is very much for oily people with no sensitivity at all. If that's you, this is a fantastic product, and I'd probably give it around an 8 out of 10, but only for that skin type. Anyone that's dry, sensitive, or even normal combination skin, this isn't for you. Give it a firm pass. Now, we're going to move seamlessly on to the Cetaphil Pro Cleansing Facial Wash. Now, this was a bit interesting. Different bottle. It looks different. This is one of the recently launched products. I say recently, it's been around a couple of years, but one of the newer launches to their cleanser range. And this is just a total disaster. I honestly am not going to recommend this to anybody. I don't get the point of this. I think it's just mind-boggling that a serious skincare brand that prides themselves on being dermatologically tested and things came out with this utter garbage. And that is all it is. Garbage. So it comes in one size, so you only get the one option with that. It does remove far more makeup than the other ones. So if you are a heavy makeup wearer, this will remove it all in one go. It does that because it also ruins your skin. It says it's designed for people with eczema and rosacea. So I think that's fantastic. There is definitely a market for cleansers for people that suffer with impaired barrier function, eczema, dermatitis, rosacea. Definitely there is a market for that, and these people need to use special cleansers that are gentle, that aren't going to strip the skin, that don't have some of the irritating ingredients in. So I'm all in favour of that, and I think this is absolutely fantastic. This is not the product though. So first of all, it's got perfume in. So it's artificially fragranced. It's got parfum on there in a reasonably high concentration because it's not too far from the top on the ingredients list, which is just a disaster. If you have eczema or you have rosacea, no. Now, there are some fragrances, artificial fragrances, that don't increase sensitivity, but without knowing which ones they are, and they haven't stated which they are, who knows? Just give this a wide pass. It's also got citric acid in there, which we used to use as a balancer, pH balancing agent, but again, can be very sensitizing to people with already sensitive and impaired barrier function. And it's got isopropyl alcohol in there, which is just not good if you want to be preserving that barrier function and trying to keep sensitivity to a minimum. It says it's going to reduce redness. I don't know how. This is a disaster. I'm not recommending it to anybody. It's a firm pass. You just need to avoid this product at all costs. How they thought this was a good idea to bring out to the market, I do not know. Now, if you have tried this and you love it, by all means, I haven't tried this because I just read the ingredients and thought, nah, this is a firm pass. I'm not going to waste my money on this product. If this is your go-to cleanser, leave me a comment below because I'd love to know. I like to hear people's feedback, and it might be that it works better in practice than in what the ingredients would imply, but I would not recommend this to anybody with sensitive skin, and I just don't know where the market is for this and who thought this was a good idea, though I do like the packaging. Packaging is nicer than the other cleansers, but that's not enough to make me buy this product. Now we're going on to the Gentle Exfoliating Cleanser. This is a bit of a mind switch for me. It messes with my mind, does this product, because it's got gentle exfoliating beads in there. So it is a manual exfoliator as well as a cleanser. I hate manual exfoliators. I think you should use a chemical exfoliator. You get better results, less risk of damage and less irritation. Manual exfoliators, we tend to scrub way too hard, and as a result we can cause micro tears, hyperpigmentation, all the things we don't want. So avoid a scrub, go for a chemical exfoliation. So I should hate this product. However, I think this is probably their best cleanser. If they just took out the beads, this would be their best cleanser. And it pains me to say that because it's exfoliating. And I do think if you use this product really gently, and I mean barely any pressure, not scrubbing, this could be a reasonably good exfoliator and cleanser in one. Because I've used it and the texture is so fine on these beads, I think the chance of damage is really minimal, and I should hate this product, but I actually quite like it. It does only come in one size, which again, fine, you don't expect any more. It unclogs the pores and exfoliates. I used this and it did genuinely give a light exfoliation. It's good enough that you don't need to use another exfoliant, but I wouldn't say it's as good as a chemical exfoliant. But this is a great option for people that don't want to use a direct acid on their skin. This could be a really good option. It's got panthenol in there, which I love. Vitamin B5 is fantastic. Panthenol is fantastic at calming irritation, soothing the skin and hydrating the skin. I absolutely love this as an ingredient. I think it's a fantastic addition. There's no fragrance in here, and there's none of the SLS in here. This is a really good product. I wish if they took shut the beads out, I could use this as go-to cleanser. I don't even think the beads are that bad. I'm going to give this product a 9 out of 10. They're losing a point for still testing on animals, which is a no-no in 2020, but actually, a 9 out of 10, I would say ding ding and almost a third ding. I really, really like this product, and if you want to use a manual exfoliator, you don't want to use a direct acid, you want to use a manual exfoliator, I think this would be a really safe, effective and good option for you to explore. It's reasonably priced and it delivers. I don't use it regularly because I prefer to use a chemical exfoliator, but I do still use it and I do still like it. And so, yeah, I'm going to give this a reasonably high 9 out of 10. Now we're moving on to the final one, which is the Gentle Foaming Cleanser. Now, foaming is, I'm a little bit confused by this because they say this is their foaming version. For people that want a foaming cleanser, this is the one for you. Yeah, the ones with SLS in will foam as well. So quite a few of their other cleansers foam. So I'm a bit bemused as to why they call this one out as foaming in particular. It's fragrance free, which is fantastic. I love that. It's it will be okay for a single cleanse. I think this, of all of them, removes probably the most amount of makeup and debris, pollution, excess skincare and things like that. So it's a really good, and you could use this as a single cleanse. I think of all of their cleansers, this is the only one that I would feel comfortable doing a single cleanse with and knowing it got off everything it needs to get off. I think the other ones do better as a second step in a double cleanse. It's got alcohol in here, so it could be a little bit dry, but it also has panthenol in, so that will hydrate a little bit and offset some of the irritation. So I think it's reasonably balanced. I wouldn't use this product if I was dry or sensitive, but I think for normal skin, I think for oily skin, this is a really good cleanser. And for me, I think it's probably one of their better ones. Now, all told, if you go through all of these, I think you're going to struggle to find, if you've got sensitive skin, I think you're going to struggle to find a good cleanser in this range. They've either got fragrance in, or they've got SLS in, which you want to get, or they've got isopropyl alcohol in, or they've got exfoliating beads. I think if you're sensitive, Cetaphil just needs a firm pass from their cleansers, and I think that's a shame because I think they're trying to pitch at the sensitive market. A bit baffled as to what they're trying to achieve with this. I think similarly with dry skin, I think there are better CeraVe, there are better alternatives out there. I would recommend the Oat Cleansing Balm by the Incalist. Any of the CeraVe cleansers, check out that video I did. You'd absolutely love some of their ones. I think there's better products out there. However, if you want a dermatologically tested and reasonably robustly formulated cleanser and you have oily skin, there's some really good ones to choose from in here. I would choose the oily skin cleanser or the foaming cleanser or the gentle exfoliating cleanser. If you have normal skin, I think the foaming cleanser would be a really good option. Again, the gentle exfoliating cleanser could really work for you, and the gentle skin cleanser, if you're not too dry, would be a really, really good option. So these are good cleansers. I think it's just very mixed messaging. The whole product line is a bit of a mess in terms of some has fragrance in, some doesn't have fragrance in, and I don't understand some of the formulations. A bit baffling. I'm definitely not as impressed as I was with CeraVe, which I fully recommend some of those. Check out that video and take some of those recommendations because they were really good. But I think there is definitely something here for people that have normal or oily skin. I think there's something here that you could get your teeth into and enjoy a cleanse. The really good options as a second step in a double cleanse. A lot of people come to me and say, I want a non-drying second cleanse step. Some of these will be really good for you, so you could definitely mix and match them. I do think if you wear a lot of makeup day to day, none of these are really going to do enough to get rid of all of that makeup, so you might want to look elsewhere. Guys, I hope this has helped you out. I love doing these reviews because I do just love trying these different products. I like being honest. You know, we can't always say all these companies are amazing, but I also don't want to read them to filth and judge them before. I'm glad I got my hands on all of these and went into the ingredients because A, it exposes some quite baffling formulations, but also hopefully broke it down and made things a little bit easier for you guys. I'd love to know what you think. Leave me your comments on Cetaphil and CeraVe, which is your go-to. Let's compare and contrast. I've already done, Hiram did a video where he compared the two, so I'm not going to do that because his, I think, is quite hard to beat. It's really good, so check that one out if you haven't already. And wherever in the world you are, guys, hopefully you'll give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.